Celebrate her every day.
Right.
Wives, celebrate your husband every day as much as you can because they are a gift to us. Once we understand how they're a gift to you, you would celebrate and enjoy your relationship. How are you guys doing today? We are so glad that you have joined us today. So before we continue, I want to introduce us. My name is Chandi and this is my husband Martin, and we are co-founders of the ministry Love Truth International Ministry. This is where we help families and we share tips on how to have a healthy relationship and marriage.
Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you enjoy this video. Let us know what you think about what we want to discuss today, and let's dive into it.
Right, so today our topic says ways to prioritize in your marriage. What are ways you can prioritize your spouse? Like when you hear prioritization, you are saying things that you can do to put your spouse first in the relationship. So we're going to share 3 ways how you can do that.
I know during the time of dating, courtship, or you are just hoping to get this lady or this man into your life, we are willing to do whatever it takes to ensure that we keep the relationship going. We ensure that we invest in the relationship to make sure they understand us, to make sure they are part of our plans and everything we do. And most often, we realize that why many couples are having problems in their marriage today is not simply what they don't know, but what they know they don't do. So those times you put a lot of energy to invest in your relationship, we find out that most times when we get married, after a few years, we start sliding back and we start not putting our spouse in our plans as a priority. One of the reasons why it's important for us to ensure that you prioritize your spouse in your marriage. So number 1 is just being able to check in with your spouse before making your plans. I know as a single person, when you were single, you can wake up and just take a trip.
I can wake up and decide that you want to take a trip, you want to go visit a family,
Right.
You want to celebrate with friends and family.
Absolutely.
But when you get married, you see that it's no longer going to just be about you, about your plans. It's
Right.
about the family's plan. So you want to be able to check in to say, hey, I would like to do this. I hope it would not interrupt our family's plan.
Right.
We want to see their calendar. We actually met a couple who, when we had invited them for our child's birthday,
Right.
they weren't able to give us a response immediately. They
Right.
said, you know what, we're going to have to check our calendar
Absolutely.
to see if our calendar is open for that day.
To accommodate.
It's not just to say my calendar, but it has to be our calendar to see if one of them is working or the other person is available, or so they want to make sure that they're able to put the 2 of them in their plans to make that happen if they were going to attend.
It means a lot to your spouse to just ensure that you carry them along and to make them feel like they are part of your plan. It doesn't mean that you are coming to take permission. Dear my Lord, is it okay if you let me go here? No, that's not what we're saying. But we're just saying this is a mutual relationship that should be based on respect and love, honor. Just making sure that you make them feel like they are part of your life is important.
Number 2 way how you can prioritize in your marriage is to check in with your spouse to know what matters to them, like your spouse needs. When we are dating, we are always eager to find out if they have done certain things. Like you want to make sure that their stomach, that they have eaten, if they've eaten, or if they needed you to do something for them, or like you're always available to meet their emotional needs. Let's say that one of them comes to you and tells you a problem that they had at work, or had with a friend, or had with a family. You're eager to help out. That shouldn't stop after you get married. You should always pay attention. I know sometimes men always like to suppress their emotions because they feel like they will be bothering us. But most of the time we want to hear about it. But it would help. They always say problems shared is half solved, right? So I feel like you should always pay attention. And for ladies, you should pay attention to when your man is stressed, to be able to help distress whatever it is that is happening. And it's very important not to have that stress in the home. If it's external, it can be handled, but when it's inside the home, it's usually more difficult.
Like you rightly pointed out, honey, that it's difficult for men to show up their emotions. We men naturally just want to man up even when we are going through tough times, just simply because we feel like you may not understand. And sometimes when you share that with your wife or with your spouse or with your friend, they may want to force you or make you make an impossible decision. That's not all the time, but I'm just saying, honey. So sometimes you just have to get on your husband to say, hey, honey, I need to talk to you. Your face is not looking bright. What is it that is going on with you? And sometimes it's not just like you are scared not to share, but you just don't know how to open up and begin to say these things, because sometimes you feel like it will be a lot for your spouse.
But during those dating time, they probably was okay, right? Because you needed that, care, and it shouldn't stop in marriage. You should be able to also help out to know when they need you in the family. Let's say with priorities, the first stages of marriage, you're enjoying your family, you're enjoying your husband, you're enjoying your wife. But then that second stage where you have children, you will see that there might be some attention shift that may happen during that time, where the woman would be more focused on rearing the children, helping out, emotionally feeding them, and you, the man, may be outside the home more than often, just to make sure that you're able to provide for your family. And when you come in to the house, see the needs that the woman may have. If you have the opportunity to help out. What
we're saying here is that this is actually a time you need to pay attention to your spouse, to your wife. I know there are some men who may not be cut out, cooking or helping out in the kitchen. This is actually a time you need to learn, or you need to jump in and say, honey, I'm sorry, I feel like you've stressed out yourself so much. We need to order some food today. You don't have to worry about cooking and doing all of this. Or you can say, I'm going to jump in and make the dinner tonight. And that will mean a lot to your wife. And both ways, it's just not only for men or for women. We can always switch roles in order to ensure that we make our spouse feel secured and feel loved.
Yeah, and the last part, which is the third point, paying attention to the impact on your spouse, is just pretty much similar with paying attention to their needs. But this time, paying attention how those roles and duties that they are involved with can affect them. Because when they affect them, they can also affect your relationship.
Absolutely.
So let's say they have a project that they have to accomplish. Let's say for the men, they may be having a project at work that they have to accomplish. If they're able to communicate that to you as a wife, I feel like you should get ready to give them grace when they are not able to accomplish some of the things that they need to do at the home. So there's always seasons in relationship where you need to be able to accommodate each other. You need to be able to adapt to each other's needs. You need to be able to help each other, because that's part of what this whole marriage partnership is all about.
Absolutely, honey. That is so true. I can just use a woman as an example here that when a woman, start giving birth to children, there could be some hormonal changes that may kind of reduce the level of libido or the level of emotional attachment to the man. And for some men, not being disciplined could actually lead to them going outside or start looking outside to get their emotional need. Not necessarily that they want to cheat on their wife or just want to do something bad, but they feel like my wife is not available. She's just easily getting angry and things like that. And at that point, without knowing that it's just natural. And sometimes some men will begin to get jealous at their wives. It's actually a time we need to calm down to just understand being able to read and to know the season your wife is going through will help you relate with her to the best of her choice, because at this time you just need to support her emotionally to get through. And the reason why we believe it's important to invest in a time like this and not just back away trying to find your needs outside is because your marriage becomes the primary thing. Kids will come and go. Highest the kids will spend with you will be about 18 years. And once they get to 18, they start leaving the house. And the level of relationship you have with your spouse, with your wife, or with your husband will determine what the next phase of your relationship will be like.
Right.
It has always been said that marriage is better enjoyed at the early stage. So those things you used to do in the past when or before you got engaged or before you got married, you can bring those things back.
Yes, and if you didn't have that habit during those times, you can develop them. You can start today to take your wife out on a dinner and look into her eyes and stare into that beautiful eyes the way you used to see her before you got married. Tell her, ask her what she needs. Pay attention to those needs and put them down so that it's not when you just on celebrations that you remember to celebrate her. Celebrate her every day.
Right.
Wives, celebrate your husband every day as much as you can because they are a gift to us. Once you understand how they're a gift to you, you would celebrate and enjoy your relationship.
We hope you picked one or two things from this video. Share your thoughts with us. We'd like to know what you're doing to make your husband, to make your wife feel important in your relationship. And we pray that God continue to prosper and bless your family. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.
Spouse to your wife.
Okay.